I'd like to dedicate this podcast to two women, Cheyenne, whose mom said she'd die of embarrassment if she heard her name on a podcast, and to Celeste, who is feeding her mom some really awesome marketing knowledge. I'd like to let you both know that your mothers love you. Okay, we are at CookieCon 2021 Orlando, and we are filming this live, so bear with us as Corey's computer struggles. So CookieCon Orlando has been great. This is Saturday. It started what?
Well, for some people, it started Tuesday. We left DC on Wednesday, drove straight 9, and we got here Wednesday evening.
Yeah, 12 hours with Corey is not for the faint of heart, especially if you know there's another 12-hour drive back tomorrow. But I think we'll be fine, right? We stopped at Buc-ee's, so it's like... Yeah. So what do we do at CookieCon?
So
what have we done at CookieCon?
What have we done? What have we not done?
I did not...
The most action-packed.
Right. This is our first CookieCon, so we have been baptized by fire. And I didn't realize just how much... Like, I thought everyone was going to get to bed around 7.
No, you party till the day.
Yeah, if you could talk cookies all day and all night, then CookieCon is for you. I think Corey and I had to go to bed around 10, but I think that we were closing it down way too early.
I think we stayed up till 11 most nights.
And then on core classes, which were yesterday, Corey and I taught a marketing class from 9 a.m. We had set up at 8.
We taught it 8 times over the course
of about 9 hours of classes. And then right after we did the mixer night, which is not alcoholic like I thought. It was a game night.
Heather was happy. And
could have used a few drinks after that, though. That was a little stressful.
But CookieCon has been absolutely amazing. It is cool people all in this awesome place where you are learning constantly. And then you meet new people. You get to have new experiences. I was able to take a class, which I absolutely loved. People said that they love the core classes. So it's been such an encouragement to experience this with almost 1,000 people.
Right. It's, I think there'll be around 1,000 people at the closing ceremony because you can bring a +1. So we have some people I've said they're bringing their extras.
I am ready to get off this and run to the vendor hall. So if we can wrap things up, I got some money to spend.
I don't think you have money to spend. That's the problem. I've seen the hotel room. It is fully back. So who would you say CookieCon is for?
CookieCon is for people that want to be surrounded with like-minded people, whether you're trying to grow techniques, whether you're trying to grow your business, whether you're trying to grow relationships within the industry. There's literally something for each one of those people.
Specifically, I've heard really good things about the people teaching the marketing course.
I think they were phenomenal. Almost you should pay just.
Almost that would be the only reason to come to CookieCon.
That's what I heard too. Rumor is.
Just stop in for their core class and then head on out. You've got everything you need.
Okay, so Heather, if someone's just tuning in for the first time, is not familiar with us, give us the name of the podcast and what they are in for if they're tuning in for the first time.
You are listening to what sounds like one person talking to themselves, but we are twins. I promise. The sultry voice and funny jokes are me, Heather, and everything else is Corey. What you've happened upon is the Baking It Down podcast with Sugar Cookie Marketing. Now, what that is attached to is a very large and robust and active and insane Facebook group called, you'll never guess, Sugar Cookie Marketing Group.
We're not.
Just hit that nail right on the head.
Imaginative with the naming.
And what we cover in the podcast is we like to talk about something that deals with the marketing of sugar cookies and baked goods, and then a little bit about the business mindset that makes people a little bit more successful.
Okay.
After that, we go through a course coverage, which is a membership course we launched this past Tuesday. Wildly successful launch, I must say so myself, but we will cover that momentarily. Mm-hmm. Then we'll cover voicemails. But since we're at CookieCon now, we're not taking voicemails. We're taking
shout out.
Please ask us questions from people here in the audience that are just watching us. Then we'll go through group stuff, which reflects some of the upcoming events that we have in this Facebook group. You guys can join. Twinterest. I'm not interesting, so hopefully Corey can carry us through.
Some stuff.
I got some stuff.
You got some
blow dryer. After that, we go through our sponsors, and we're skipping the mailbag this week because we are in CookieCon and not in Virginia.
True. All righty, Heather. So she is actually going to take us off through the gates today with the marketing minutes, and she is going to talk about investing in yourself, which is what we've experienced a lot this week.
So everyone here at CookieCon has invested a lot into themselves. CookieCon, by no stretch of the imagination, is not cheap.
Not even a little bit.
Right. So CookieCon, the ticket itself is $3.99. That gets
just round it up
you-
to 400.
No, that pricing psychology. For those of you who don't think it works, it does. $3.99, and then addition. We kind of so everyone in the crowd, just tell me like, what did you guys think you spent on CookieCon? Okay, I'm seeing like,
2,000.
yeah, I'm seeing, and I heard a lot of 1,500. I think when I did the math without a ton of add-on classes, with just the ticket, a flight. Corey and I did drive, so we
drove.
spent money in gas. But with the ticket, the flight,
The hotel room,
which is absolutely.
and probably
stunning.
one class and one add-on class. I think that would put you around 1,500, right?
Some people said they leaned a little more into 2,000 if you factor in food and such. But we're in a beautiful convention center. It's called the Rosen Shingle Creek Hotel, and it is not a hotel; it is a campus.
It is stunning.
Yeah, I gotta say, when we went to Disney, I think Disney should take notes from this hotel. This is
Disney
absolutely
was
what it should
packing
have
us
been.
in like sardines.
Yeah. So the hotel is really nice, and it was we got a group rate for buying through CookieCon's link, so it saved a lot of money there. And then there's people who went crazy and made this also a Disney vacation, and y'all are wild. So it's not cheap to show up to CookieCon. So you need to start assessing the investment potential of investing into your own business. So I know you hear us talk about Eddie, who is also downstairs in the vendor hall. AE Core backers, which are backdrops, also downstairs in the vendor hall. I think you went and bought some airbrush machine.
I bought I'm trying to say it right, Grex airbrush machine. That was not cheap.
Okay. So how much did it cost?
That was $439.
Oof.
If guys, if you don't know, me and airbrushing are like arch nemesis, and if this is not life changing to me, I'm giving up on airbrushing in 3 dimensions, and I'm just gonna do apples with faces till the day I die.
The reason why Corey bought the airbrush machine, and even though we do have the Eddie, is because she said that with the airbrush machine, you can kind of get more dimension with that transitional edge coloring.
Yeah.
Versus, us and Eddie, we can't seem to nail the center of the cookie.
It's not Eddie. It's definitely us.
So when we talk about investing in ourselves, we need to say, what is the profit that this investment could make for me? And I know we talk a lot about the toll road. We probably should get paid commissions on it. Our free sponsorship of the Virginia toll road system. But we have a toll road here, and it's called the hot lanes, the express lanes, the Lexus lanes, and there's a reason. So why I like to talk about the toll road and its dynamic pricing is that as rush hour starts to increase, the price of the toll road increases as well. Supply and demand is how it's related. If there is more demand and limited supply, they can charge more. They charge more. They say not to rob you blind, like highway robbery, which is truly is. They say it's to mitigate the amount of people on the road. Okay, so why would I spend money to get to work? Let's pretend I make $60 an hour.
All right.
And the price of the toll road at this rush hour let's pretend we're on 66, 495.95 is $30. So I make $60 an hour, but I'm about to lose half of what I make an hour, right?
Right.
Except for no, because I'm going to get to work an hour faster. I know these sound like made up numbers. They're not. That's the unfortunate part of Virginia. But let's say I get to work an hour sooner. I did spend 30 minutes there to get there. I did spend $30 to get there on time, but I make $60. So I actually walk away with an additional $30. And that's what we think of investment. How much can I make by spending money today? It takes money to make money. That is what CookieCon truly is. And it's also what Eddie is, and AE Core backdrops and photography equipment, better packaging. You're spending money to make more money. So when we talk investing into ourselves, I'd like to challenge you guys to come up with a goal of what you want to invest into yourselves. I know we talk about budgeting as how much we make, but how much can we allocate back into investing in ourselves to be better cookiers? If that skill of the class you took, how much was it?
$250.
What was it about?
It was making these little ladies. You could do ladies and men, but
Little ladies.
she had made Karen and Mike into cookies themselves. So you can cookify somebody. And I thought it was such a great opportunity because I'm thinking when Christmas comes around and you do ugly sweaters, you could make a whole family into cookies. So that could be, if you wanted to, your, what is it when people send pictures of themselves at the holidays?
Cards?
Christmas card.
Whoa. Okay, so let's pretend that that's what you did. So the class cost $250, but what did you get? You got the lesson. I know you got the cutter.
I got the lesson. I got the cutters. I got her whole thing, how she made the icing, how she painted the colors of the people's skins, how her transfer sheet.
So you invested $250 into yourself. Now, what do you think you could sell that cookie for? The one you made had 4 people. It was a giant cookie.
Yeah, those 4 ones, I think you could do $45 for those.
For one big cookie, right? It was one big cookie.
Well, they were 4 separate cookies that slid in together.
Okay, so you're looking at, let's pretend it's one big cookie, 4 separate cookies at $45. Can you take 45 divided by 4 real quick?
Sure. Why didn't I just do 40 and say you're looking like 12 or something?
Okay. So look, so Corey now has a skill set. Let's pretend it's like $12.50 that she can turn around and sell for $12.50. Corey, you talk. I'm gonna do some calculator math here.
But guys, I took this class. I was supposed to take piping on a toothpick class, but we ended up having to do core classes last minute, so I wasn't able to take that. Heather's done with math, so I'll start.
Okay. So so that class cost you $250. I'm not even factoring the fact that you got that cutter for free, or I guess 4 cutters, really, right?
It was 3 cutters, and you can use one twice.
Oh, genius. So that would sell. You'd need to sell around 5 sets, 5 of those to make the class pay for itself. But the 6th one you sell, the 7th one you sell, the 8th one, that's all pure profit based off of an investment that you made in yourself this week.
Okay, I like that.
So yeah, a lot of people, like, spending money, Corey's the non-spending twin, even though it's surprising because she's always the one buying stuff.
I don't really know how that works.
I don't really know, because I feel bad buying stuff in front of you. I turn around and you have everything. And I have sadness. So what I'd like to challenge you guys, and I know we talked about in the group, and people are asking, what is CookieCon? Why is it so expensive? It's expensive because there's a lot to be invested back in yourselves here. And then also Mike and Karen have really, truly had this convention on lock. Wow. It is fascinating the amount of work that must go into this. I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole.
No. Couldn't pay me enough to try to take on.
I think I should be compensated for dealing with Corey for a straight 5 days, but
I'll put in your complaint to Mike and Karen.
Yeah, there's a QR code you can scan to complain, and I have some complaints about Corey. So that's my challenge to people who are listening in the crowd today. And all the people sitting in front of us, all you guys sitting in front of us right now, like, props to you. Like, pat yourself on the back. You invested a lot into this convention. You invested a lot into yourselves. And I hope that you come to CookieCon with the concept, hey, I'm going to table my introverted self. I am here to soak up, to meet people, to network, to find friends. And I'm here to really make the most out of my not cheap investment. If you go out there and you're just spending a ton of money and not like learning, I see people say, I bought my Eddie and I never opened it yet.
I know.
And so you spend a lot of money, but it's not being invested. It is literally burning a hole, not even a hole in your pocket. You have no holes in your pocket. You already spent it.
It's a paperweight.
Yeah, so get out there and get that airbrush machine that you've been sitting in the back of your cupboard and take the class. I know Belinda Cooley, she's here somewhere in the convention center, but she's teaching an airbrush 101 class. Corey,
shouldn't have taken that.
And get your Eddie out. Join the Eddie group on Facebook and get the one-on-one class that they offer with your purchase.
Absolutely free.
Right, it's absolutely free with the low cost of a $3,000 machine. But
I was trying to sell that.
And get your AE Core backer out and take one of Corey's stage along classes, things like that. Sorry, I was tapping.
Okay, Heather was tapping.
That was
for
me.
anyone that heard that was not Corey.
We're also in a giant convention center, so I could just blame it on anybody.
Does it sound amazing?
And as the people running to join us.
No, that was someone just left in the back.
Somebody
don't let the door slam, please.
It's cavernously echoous in here. Okay, that's my investing back in yourself, and I'm happy that I could tie in Virginia toll road system as usual.
You doing it any chance
I
you get,
do.
girl,
Hey.
baby girl.
TransUnion, remember?
The next thing we're going to do is go to the business of baking, and this week I would love to talk about communication. Specifically in our marketing company this week, I had asked one of our vendors that we do for Google Ads. Me and Heather became Google AdWords certified, and really what that did was tell us we're not good at it.
This is some stuff we'll never be good at.
Google Ads is very hard. So we hired somebody who's professional at it to do it, take it, out of our house and put it in their house. Their wheelhouse, because it wasn't here.
It was a really bad house.
But the problem with it is I wanted to get a lead sheet. So I just wanted to say,
hey, send me a lead, who called you? Because Google provides that information.
Yeah. So I just went, hey, can you send this to me in an email? I'm super happy to work with. I said, hey, Bromy, can you send me this lead sheet, please? That was 3 weeks ago. I gave him a date. I needed it by Wednesday, if you don't mind. Wednesday came. Wednesday left. No lead sheet. So the next week I said, hey, can I get this? I need it by Tuesday, close of business, 5 p.m. at the latest. He said, I got you, girl.
When did not have you.
Did not have me. It was not a good trust fall. Okay, so as you can
Queso.
see, queso. Queso. As you can see, I grew a little frustrated because I'm spending money and I would like to see where that money goes. And I was asking for communication, and that tells you that communication, it's important to me and it's important to my clients.
Right. So I took my car to a mechanic shop before we left for CookieCon because I just didn't want to be stuck on the side of the road with Corey. We'd probably murder each other.
We would.
I have my money on that. I'd win, but whatever. We'll have to see.
I have some jujitsu.
We still drive back. It's not above us. All right. Okay, so I dropped my car off at the mechanic. As soon as I dropped him off, I got an email saying that service were starting on my vehicle. Mm-hmm. Okay, I could care less, but thank you so much. Then I got a text of an itinerary of the billion-point checklist. They sent me a picture of my air filter. All I came in was for an alignment. Yeah, I was like, okay. And then they sent me an email and a phone call saying that they were nearly finished, and then an email and a phone call again saying I was ready to pick it up. After I got home, I got another email asking me if my service was okay. A lot of these were pre-drip campaign, but I got so many. And then finally, when I said everything was good, I got an email asking for a review, which I've already left for them because I do like how they handle the vehicle.
So what you're telling me is I need to hire the mechanic shop to run the Google ads.
Yeah, basically. There's a guy named Tom there. So the concept of that is communication is so important in getting our clients to feel better. Corey.
Yes.
Imagine that when somebody places an order 2 months out.
Okay.
Imagine that you send them an email as soon as their order is confirmed, giving them a breakdown of a timeline of events, which I know you're going to talk about here in a second. I really liked it.
It's totally stealing my thunder.
Beep, beep. She wants communication. She gets it. Then let's say that 2 weeks out from now, what has been almost 2 months, they get an email reminder saying, hey, just so you know, we're getting started on your order. Really excited. Here's a reminder of what you're getting, how you're getting it, where you're going to pick it up. Imagine a week out. Hey, just want to let you know again, we're working on your order. Here's another reminder of everything we talked about. A day out. Hey, I know tomorrow's your pickup date. Just a quick reminder. At no point do they have to ask you for communication.
You're looking at me, but you stole my entire section, so I don't know what to say next.
I'm saying I can see the emails people are sending you, and they're saying, excuse me, ma'am, are you working on my cookies?
Okay, well, I know communication is important, and these people are paying a lot of money for these bakes from us. You know, as you grow a little bit more successful and as your marketing takes hold, you're going to have people schedule out a lot farther than normal. But you don't want to bombard them. Hey, there's your cookie lady. How's it going? Every single week? No, that would be annoying. So what I like to do when a customer schedules maybe 2 or 3 months out is give them a timeline of what they can expect from me, because expectations are everything. So what I'll do with them, and I'll say, hey, I just got your order. I actually just got your payment. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Let me tell you what you can expect from me. Right now, we're confirming your order. 2 weeks out, I'm going to reconfirm all the details, make sure nothing has changed on your end. A week out, you're going to get the details of the pickup time and the pickup location. The night before, I'm going to send you photos of your order. Those are for you to use and share on social media.
What a genius idea.
Genius idea. Everyone uses it to tout me in community groups.
Yeah, it really does work. Go on.
And then I'll say, and tomorrow morning, I'll reconfirm the time and location, and you'll be sick of me, and hopefully you'll have amazing cookies. And they always appreciate the little roadmap that I give them, so they don't feel like, wow, this lady took my money and ran with it. But Heather has a great way of how you can actually knock it all out in one fell swoop.
Okay, so you know that I love me some Google tools. Gmail is absolutely free for both the common man, and then we actually do use it for our work. It is paid when we use it that way. But for you listening here, if you have a Gmail, you got this feature. You can schedule out emails ahead of time. So what I like to do is when I need to follow up with somebody, but I don't need to actively remind them, I just need to ping them again, I can schedule an email from the day I said, hey, I'll follow up with you in 2 months, and I can turn around to my Gmail and I can write up the email and I can say, send this 2 months from today. Now, that allows Corey to say, hey, I have somebody, they just paid me. They're not picking up their order for 2 months. So I'm going to build out this template of drip campaigns to them. And she can keep in her Google Drive or on her desktop all the copy that she needs to resend to each client that she has. So she could just sit down on one Monday and build out her drip campaign, which means emails that go out at specific times to the same person. She could build that out for the month of October, meaning every order that has a pickup date in October, she can build this drip campaign to using Google's free scheduling application. It used to be a thing I used to have to pay for, and then Google suddenly revealed that they were including it in Gmail.
For people that are wondering why it's called drip campaign, I want you to take a mental picture of a drip coming out of the faucet. See that? Drip. Wait. Drip. Wait.
It's painting a picture.
And that is what a drip campaign is. It's when things go out as a specific... That was a lot of S's in there.
that was people in the audience whispering. So basically what Corey is saying is right. So when you're sending 5 emails to the same person over a predetermined space of time, you can drip those out, but you can schedule them also ahead of time. So Corey can say, hey, Sarah, thank you so much for your order. 2 weeks out, hey, Sarah, a reminder, but it's all done in the same day today, and she never has to think about it again.
And Heather did bring up a good point that you can actually go in and edit some of your pre-done emails. So say if something changed or they reached out to you via Messenger and you needed to go in and update that, you can go in there and update it, and they will be none the wiser.
Right. And then, you can get in front of them, delete them, send them, if they move their date, you could send them ahead of time or reschedule them. Now that sounds like a lot to deal with. And I know I like to talk about this. Susan Shepard taught just the other day, I think. Mm-hmm. I think it was almost on Monday or Sunday.
Yeah.
She taught a Facebook Live in the main group on Asana, which sounds like Awana, if any of you guys went to church school like we did. Asana, ASANA.com, is a project management software where I can set up a template to trigger out when I get a new order. So what I'm basically saying is, let's say Sarah orders from me.
Okay.
Now I need a sequence of reminders.
Sarah's going to be very disappointed because you don't bake.
Sarah, you have chosen boy. Sarah. So let's say I trigger a template in Asana. Mm-hmm. So Asana is a project management software, and I trigger the template. What it's going to say is, hey, Heather, looks like you have another baking project. Here is all the things that need to happen with this baking project. I've already set it up before, so now it's going to say, order the cutter, and I can check that off. It says, okay, next up, you need to do this. I check that off. Next up, set up the email drip campaign. I check that off. And it takes me through this process so that nothing is ever forgotten because I already did the thinking ahead of time. I have a terrible memory. Mm-hmm. It's my strongest feature of myself is that I realize I can't remember anything, so I never try to.
Right.
That way I just plug it into Asana. And another great thing with Asana, like Corey was sitting here today and you gave me a task. What was it? See? Bad memory. There it is again.
You update the website.
Oh, yeah. I need to update a website. And I know I'm not going to remember anything she says. I try to not listen to her anyways. So I clicked into Asana on my phone. I clicked the plus button, added to task. Another great thing with Asana is it syncs with Gmail, and I can turn any email into a task as well. So if I have a client that says, hey, can I add 2 extra cookies to this? I can say plus mark Asana, follow up with the client or add 2 extra cookies.
I'm going to need to check out the Asana.
Corey says this every time I say the word RESPECT.
When it comes to communication, when your customer is reaching out to you,
you have not communicated enough.
Communication. The thing that we always need to do is assume that your customer wants to hear from you. So if you can beat them to the punch. Heather loves this software we have. It's called MailTrack.
Every email I've ever sent has been tracked.
So every email Heather sends has a tracking portion to it. So she can actually see when a client is going through a bunch of emails at a rapid rate. And what that allows her to do is get in front of the issues. So she'll say, hey, just wanted to check in on you. Let you know I'm working on this, and this, and I'll be in touch. And they're like, wow, it's like you read my mind. Mm-hmm. No, she looked up.
You were just on my mind and in my inbox.
But what it's doing is you always need to be in front of the communication, because if they're asking you, hey, what is that pickup location? What's that pickup date? You failed some point in the communication timeline. Is there things in there that someone just didn't read and people aren't remembering? Absolutely.
But I'd rather know that I can reference an email, especially outside of Messenger. And Gmail, again, you'll hear us preach it till the walls come down. Mm-hmm. Pipe it all through one single location, and Facebook would not be my recommendation for your primary communication with clients. But back to cars, right? Let's pretend I, go to pick up my car at the designated time. I think I gave them till 5 or something.
Okay.
So when they closed at 6, let's say I got there and they said, oh, I'm so sorry, it's not ready yet.
But you drove all the way.
But I drove all, why wouldn't you tell me that?
You mean I drove you all the way?
Corey drove me all the way. Corey's my Uber.
The
my
freak
Uber. So I'd be like, hey, why didn't you tell me? It's not that I was mad that the car wasn't ready. It was that I was mad that I drove all the way out there and then they told me the car. We make mistakes, obviously. Not me, but you. But, people listening, not me. I make mistakes. But being proactive with those mistakes, hey, I just want to let you know this is a small issue. No worries about it. I'd much rather that than I show up and somebody's like, I seen blood. Okay, now I have no options anymore. Anyways, a lot of times, and I see this between me and Corey and I, whatever, that we will not want to message a client because they'll come back with something we called scope creep. Yeah, and that's an industry term for being a nightmare client.
That just means when you email somebody and it's almost like they're like, oh, the door's open for more assignments. Let me send them your way.
So how do you handle scope creep? When you email a client and say, hey, I'm working on your order, just want to, these nice and happy emails, and they say, well, I want to make changes. You said, oh, absolutely. That will be an adjustment or a rush fee at this point, or we can add this at this point. Let's pretend one of these emails you send out to your client says, hey, the birthday party order will be ready at Sunday as we agreed at this place and time. Just a quick thing. We actually started offering hot cocoa bombs. Is that something you'd like to add to your order?
Didn't know you guys offered that.
Right. So it's another touch point, and it mitigates that scope creep and allows you to turn scope creep into an upsell. Never have I rendered additional unpaid services to a client and got a good result from it.
If anything, you're training your customer poorly.
Right. And I know there's being nice, but you'd have to say when you're being nice. So if I go out of my way for a client, I would say something like, hey, this service is this rate, but I'd be happy to do it for you because. At no point should you just say, okay, and not mention that, hey, I'm just throwing in a few extra cookies.
Every free cookie I do as a thank you cookie, I make sure when they see me, hey, you're going to find an extra cookie in your order. That's specifically my gift to you for choosing me to bake for your event. I never just
toot your own horn. Ain't nobody going to toot it for you. Okay, so that is really great. I really like the thing about communication and how that integrates with a project management software. With those project management softwares as well, you can add team members. That makes it paid at that point. It is free. Asana is free for a single-use person, just keeping track of their life. Let's say if we had a team. So Corey and I do work remotely, but sometimes I've been trying to get her not to see me every day. No avail.
I will come.
But let's say we have a virtual assistant. I'd turn around and I'd add them to my project and I could assign them tasks in the same way, knowing full well that everything is tracked. Another amazing part of Asana is if I do not get it done, I have to tell the application this did not get done. And it keeps you honest. So then I either have to archive, delete, or change the due date of the assignment. At no point do I get away scot-free if I miss my own due date. But I really like it. It keeps me honest. It keeps me organized. If you find that you're forgetting a lot of orders and you're a pen and paper person, I'd really challenge you to digitize it. We can't scale pen and paper, and we definitely can't scale our brains. So might as well let the robot overlords think for us.
And if you want to get a little look into Asana, definitely tune into Susan Shepard's live she did on Asana because she breaks it down. She did a phenomenal job. You can definitely tell the woman uses Asana. So if you want to get a look into it.
She broke it down for bakers too, as if she got an order from me.
It was fantastic.
Right. So that one was really good. So what's up next, Twan?
We are at course coverage. Okay. We were going to think that we were going to be selling the course on here, but it sold out day one in 8 hours.
You're so good at marketing, it even surprises you.
Those 250 people said, I am ready to grow my business in 2021 and reap the benefits in 2022. We call it a course, but it's not actually a course. It's actually a membership. Right now, currently, there's 30 different courses within this membership that take you through things like SEO, websites, email campaigns, Facebook ads, photography, GMBs.
I think we recorded our live cookie class, like a cookie class. We actually had paying people.
Plus, gave everyone our actual script, like the words, our banter back and forth. Plus the PowerPoint.
Some comedic gold in there, guys.
Yeah, and our email campaigns with them. So what it is, it's not a course. It's a membership to endless courses. The one that we're working on this week and next week are DIY kits, how to sell them for Halloween, and then some pre-sales that I am working on. Right now, we have a wait list. That's the only way to get on there.
How can I sign up to the wait list?
I don't know.
TheCookieCollege.com.
Oh,
Thanks, twin.
TheCookieCollege.com. You can get on the wait list right now. We have 72 people on the wait list. But one day when I feel like these people have gotten their business worth, we'll open it back up. I don't have a day on the calendar for that. But I'm excited to help these 250 people grow. We've had so much fun in the group already. Today I gave them copy. I gave them photos. I gave them my list of where I bought everything and everything to use for their own presale. So I said, take it and run, throw it in the trash. I don't care. And they seem to really appreciate that.
Yeah. And on Monday, I have a Photoshop, bless these poor people's souls, Photoshop screen share where I walk people changing the color of icing without having to rebake anything.
Yeah, Heather had she's doing max, but I made them pink, but she made them blue, green, orange, and pink.
Yeah. It's pretty fascinating what you can do. And again, if you attended our core class, you'll know that time is what?
Money.
Yes.
I said that 8 times straight, money.
Yeah. It was really catchy. I thought our core class did pretty good. If you are out there and it wasn't, please
don't fill out. Don't tell Mike.
Please don't tell Mike. Okay, so voicemails. We're not doing voicemails. We're doing
some questions. If anyone
does anybody
has
have
a
any
question.
questions?
Wait, I see. Just
nobody has a question.
One person has a question.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Oh, CRMs.
Yeah. Okay. So CRM
is my favorite.
Stands for
Customer Relation Management Software. So customer relationship management, CRM, it is awesome. And also it is something that we can scale again. It's something we're actually setting up for the course. I found one that it integrates with Gmail. Super excited about that.
Awesome.
But what she asked, Vanessa Grant, what she asked is, customer relationship management software that allows me to enter in any person I've ever come across in my business. So, let's pretend someone ordered from you for Mother's Day last year.
Okay.
What would happen if you popped back into their inbox a month before Mother's Day this year?
I'd probably end up with a sale.
Right. So customer relationship management software does the remembering for you. You're proactive in entering the data of the customers. A lot of these can pull straight from emails and Gmail, or you can just upload the correspondence. So within this one client, I can have all my correspondence I ever had with them. I can have reminders if I had their birthday. I can have reminders for what their order was, what their order amount was, what it was for, what was the name of the person whose name I wrote on that cookie. And my CRM can do all that remembering for me. So I can turn around and say, Sarah, it's you again. Hey, Sarah, you ordered 2-year-old birthday cookies at this time last year. Do you want to place an order for 3? Or I can just go back and say, hey, Sarah, I know it was your dad's birthday last year. Yeah. Wish him happy birthday this year.
What a fantastic way to always keep it costs so much to convert a cold lead into a warm lead.
That's your most expensive marketing dollar spend, is to warm up a cold audience.
Yeah, but to convert a warm lead into a sale is a lot less work. Odds are if they bought from you before, they will buy from you again. People live busy lives. So to think that they remember your name and your business name like you do, lofty goal.
I can hardly remember my own name.
If you can reach out to them in an email specifically made to them, showing them your pre-sales, showing them what you have coming up that you would love to bake again for their birthday, the odds that you could land a sale with minimal marketing effort is rather high.
Okay. I love it. So are there any other questions?
Hold on. I see one. Can you tell her a little, is it a one-time fee for the course/membership? Just break that apart.
I see that I am using the word course too freely. Again, like Corey said, it's course set. So your membership gets you anything from the date you signed on till the date that you canceled. At the point that you cancel it, you'll lose access to that, but you can drop in and drop out as your business ebbs and flows. The membership is $68 per month, or a yearly fee of $680, which, yes, that's 10 months. You get 2 free if you pay ahead of time. Why? Because I don't have to keep remarketing to you, and it saves me time and effort. So we could pass that savings on to you. Plus, you're more of a guaranteed person in our funnel. So that's the marketing back end of the course. But like Corey said, the course covers everything, anything that we really use in our business to optimize. We do the agency stuff during our day job, and it feels like I never sleep. What's that? CookieCon. True. It did not factor in sleep to this whole week.
What's kind of cool is someone dove into the course, and their first one they decided to go through was the copywriting portion. And copy is just basically the words you choose to go along with your post, the description,
which is something we covered in our core class.
Yes. And so she said she used some of the things she learned and was able to make 2 sales using that. And she said, I've already paid for the course. And it's day one. So I thought that was absolutely the coolest thing ever.
We're just going to keep having a razzle dazzle.
Razzle dazzle.
Okay. But again, the course caps out at $250. I'm sure as the billing threshold approaches, we'll see people, kind of ebb and flow through that. So
those are business changes and things like that.
And so, or they could, you could just binge watch the entire set of courses up front, get your money's worth, and head on out.
Yeah.
And then check back in 2 months when more stuff's been added to it. But once that number drops below 250, we'll open it back up again. So again, the cookiecollege.com, join the wait list. It's an email. We'll send an email when the course opens back up.
Perfect.
Moving on. So in-group stuff, if you're new here and haven't ever heard of Sugar Cookie Marketing Group, we have a lot of the members who actually turn around and offer their knowledge and expertise to our other members.
Yes.
Which is really awesome because there's some people who are really good at Avery labels. Corey took a Mac class by one of the members, Meredy, and now can bake these things.
Yeah, who knew? That just tells you how good that class was because I went from not knowing to somehow knowing.
Right. Any lesson live that we've talked about is still archived in the group under the events tab. You'll just have to join the group. It's facebook.com/groups/sugar cookie marketing. Events tab is at the top. But here's what we have upcoming: selling 20,000 cookies in under a year. And how she did it. That is coming up next week, I think. This coming week?
Yes.
Next week. So next weekend, Sunday. This one got rescheduled, which is great because otherwise you wouldn't have been able to take it because we're supposed to be today. Yes. But next Sunday is French macaron bake along with Heather Martin. So if you missed,
and she's doing which method does she do? I think she's doing the French method, and the Martins did the Swiss method. So now we'll have two under our belts.
Macs are more well traveled than I am. Then we have business collabs and styled shoots with Kimberly. She was supposed to come to CookieCon, couldn't make it, but so I'm super excited. She takes really awesome photos. She's from Maryland. She loves her Old Bay seasoning and the Maryland flag. And then, like I said, Airbrushing 101 with Belinda Cooley is on September 14th.
Hopefully my Gorex thing comes in by time.
Yeah. Then we have Making Stencils with Your Cricut with Liv Littlewitch. Love that girl. She is from Britain, so I can't wait to hear her accent. But this is going to, she said, I'll be hand modeling. She's going to show us how that Cricut really does work to create stencils.
So I can buy something
this is
extra.
This is why she buys.
I just need enablers. That's what the group is for me.
Since you guys are all new here, if you've been at CookieCon, you couldn't have missed Fresia Malone. She is the bow lady, but she is teaching us how to list our products in Square.
True.
And I'm just going to go through a couple of these. CookieCon Dallas is next month from October 6th to the 9th, so you guys have fun there. We're mad that we're not going. Understanding website analytics with Mara. Now, Mara is actually getting a degree in this.
Wow.
And she's teaching us how to do it. But she also just got married like last week.
Well, congratulations.
And then we have a lawyer, Baker AMA.
Okay, awesome. And we just hit 25,000 people in Sugar Cookie Marketing Group. And that means Sweet Pink Olive is going to put together our next challenge. If you partook in the last challenge, it was actually a lot of fun. She gave you 5 things to include in a staged photo, and y'all were so creative. So I'm excited to see what she brings to us so you could win the grand prize. And she is working on that now, and I cannot wait. Now we are on to Twintrests.
Okay.
I actually purchased this edible lace stuff. And you add water to it, mix it around a bit, put it on this edible lace, bake it for 20 minutes, and then it comes out and you can do almost like pretty lacy things with it. So think wedding dress.
Things.
That's all I know.
Cool.
Or that I got the one where it looks like you sewed. Oh. So I'm going to attempt it.
I have no idea what you're talking about, but I'll be curious to see what it looks like.
Well, if it's good or bad, you'll still eat it.
Yeah, I can't wait to try it. I do not have a Twintress. However, Corey was, I was like, I'll bring the toothpaste, you bring the blow dryer.
So Corey save on space.
Corey has a Dyson blow dryer. I know this is the most far from marketing thing ever, but she was like, "Do you want to use it?" I said, "Yeah." She's like, "Warning: if you use it, you'll love it." The thing is $400. So back in investing in myself,
$400, baby girl.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I'm not excited, but I was. So I turned this thing on. It sounds like a jet engine. It sounds like Southwest is finally coming to pick me up from the airport. I accidentally pointed at the stuff on the counter and blows away.
Yeah.
But my hair was honestly from sopping wet to bone dry in less than 10 minutes.
It was insane. It's insane. It blows my mind every time I use it.
It blows her away.
Blows me away. And blows my hair away.
But it is, I'll say that little thing, that little device is pretty neat.
So Heather said she's going to get one.
I think I will invest in myself.
You know why I bought it? It's because of influencer marketing. Our eldest sister had one, never even tried it. Just saw her hair one day and I said, your hair's looking good, girl. And she's like, got this new blow dryer.
Do you know our cousin went out and bought one today?
Influencer marketing is the thing.
It's
moving through the miracle family.
Yeah. So that's really neat. So Corey, after Twin Twist, it is our sponsors.
You take on Eddie Mowing.
Eddie is one of those, can I invest in myself with an Eddie? He is $3,000, which when we're talking about CookieCon, it's not out of the realm of the prices of everything this week. But Eddie is one of those things where if I can purchase an Eddie for $3,000, what is my risk of mitigation? Right now, if you bought an Eddie and turned around and sold him, you could sell him immediately. There's a wait list anyway still for Eddie.
They never get those.
Eddie also has a 30-day return policy. So if you got Eddie and hated him,
and they also say send your cookies into Eddie. They'll print it on them, and
so you can see your
back.
recipe tested against
Eddie. knows customer service.
Yeah, they really do. But so Eddie is downstairs.
He's been printing all week.
Yeah, that little guy's put in some extra work. The guy knows no sleep. But you'd say, okay, if I purchased an Eddie, could I get my money back out of this? What orders can I take? How much time does he save?
Yeah.
So a lot of people think linearly, saying if I buy an Eddie, I can list this cookie for $4 or $5. But how much time do you not spend using an airbrush? Sorry, Corey, who just bought an airbrush.
Yeah, I know.
So if Eddie saves you 3 hours, what's your hourly rate?
Right.
That's also how Eddie can pay for himself as well. But if you don't know who Eddie is, he's an edible food printer. No, not edible sheets. He prints directly on the cookie itself. Corey called me and she was like, hey, we got an email from Eddie. I want one. I said, no, we're not in human trafficking here. And she's like, no, it's not what you think. He prints with food safe ink directly on sugar cookies. And I said, okay,
I used him for this dragon order I had right before we went to CookieCon. And I needed the last 10 cookies. My mind was blank. They took me forever. I said, Heather, what can I do? And she said, print fire on them and then do the single line, almost roundhouse technique, but not so much. But it was a black line dragon over this fire. It looked fantastic.
Which is crazy because you did hand-painted fire and then we did the Eddie fire.
And the Eddie fire blew me out of the water.
It was like a Dyson. But the thing is, Eddie does save a lot of time. It is pretty neat, and you can do some pretty cool, intricate things that may take a lot of time stenciling. But again, not a cheap guy. He is our sponsor. We've enjoyed working with Eddie. They had really funny pins down in the
They did. Like vote for Eddie.
Eddie, I am Eddie's girlfriend.
That was so funny. And then our next sponsor is Bakety Bake, and that is a meringue powder.
Isn't she here downstairs?
It is my boo, huh?
Is she here? Oh, no, she's in the booklet.
Yeah, she's a sponsor.
Right.
If you're in the booklet, you're a sponsor?
I don't. There's difference between a vendor and a sponsor. And I think sponsors are in the booklet.
Okay, so she is a sponsor for CookieCon, but it's this meringue powder that is my new love of my life because I had 600 cookies I had to write on and not one poked through. I look like a total G. Have 6 pounds of this. Cannot wait to order 6 pounds more. If you would like to, you can save 10% at checkout with Twins. That's TWINS. It's all capitalized here. I don't know if it was uncapitalized. If
it was all caps. At least that's where I found it.
All caps, Twins. And you save 10% at, hold on, BaketyBakeIdaho.com. She is a cookier and a small business owner. And if we can support that while looking like amazing cookiers ourselves, let's do.
Yeah. If you're not in the Sugar Cookie Marketing group, we have a list of coupon codes from really awesome people in the group who do stenciling, digital downloads. Huh?
One has 50% off.
Yeah, somebody added today at 50% off digital downloads for their Etsy store. The requirement to be listed on the coupon thing is that the discount code must apply to your entire store. Minimum of 15%.
Cannot expire.
Cannot expire because I didn't want to go back and have to update it. But there's about, 20 people, 20 shops listed.
Yes.
It's a really great resource. I might be tooting my own horn, but like we said earlier, you got to.
Okay.
So obviously, guys, I think we actually have to leave exactly at the 45 minutes because somebody else is using this room after us. But I'd like to thank you all for, listening to us on the podcast. If you've never heard of us, bless your poor souls. You're the lucky ones. But now that you have heard of us, you have no excuse. So I want to wish you the best for the rest of CookieCon. I know you got to hear us one more time tonight as the closing keynote speaker. So please, please, please laugh at our jokes. I wish you guys the best in the rest of your day, and we'll see you tonight. And to you people in podcast land, thanks for the patience. We'll see you next week.